This is raw milk, and after a few days it turns into one of the most powerful inputs on our farm. What you're looking at is raw skim milk that's naturally clabbered, no starter, no additives, just time and biology. It separates into two parts: the solid curds, which you can see the jiggle, and the liquid whey underneath. This liquid is full of beneficial microbes, especially lactic acid bacteria. We use this almost exactly like KNF LAB, but it's coming straight from raw milk, so you don't even need the rice water wash. We dilute this down and apply it to our soil and plants. It helps break down nutrients, improves soil biology, and can even help suppress disease. Instead of buying inputs, we're growing our own biology. And then this part, the curds, goes straight to the chickens. It's loaded with proteins, fats, calcium, and probiotics. They absolutely love it. And it's incredible for their gut health and egg production. This has no smell to it. If anything, maybe even a sweet smell. So I would let this drain out all the way, but because I've got so much of it, I'm not even gonna worry about it. But you can see, here's the cheese for the curds. Now, if I was a little more clean about this, you could literally make cheese out of it, but I'm just gonna feed this to the chickens. These curds have billions, if not trillions, of microbes in them. And whole milk that you buy from the grocery store that is as unpasteurized as possible, you would take that, put the rice water wash from where you make rice in there. But with the raw milk, you do not need the rice water wash. I'm telling you, this might look gross. It has no smell whatsoever. This stuff right here, the chickens go nuts over it. The dogs go nuts over it. It's incredibly beneficial for their gut microbiome, and it's full of fat and nutritional value, which is extremely good for the chickens. We get this stuff twice a week, and I don't get to do this every time, but I try to do as much as possible. Our American brace chickens get their feed soaked in this milk, and that is the only source of food that they have until they consume all of it. Otherwise it sits out there and does go bad, and it adds a marbling to their meat. You can start to see the liquid. It's like a gold color. That is what we're going after. That's the lactic acid bacteria, but it's more than that because this is raw milk. It's a whey, which is part lactic acid bacteria and just tons and tons of more microbial life. Now that this is separated, this is where things get really interesting. What we have here is not just spoiled milk. This is a naturally selected microbial system. The liquid part, the whey, is full of beneficial microbes, especially lactic acid bacteria. These microbes are things like lactobacillus and other fermentation bacteria that naturally exist in raw milk. What they do is convert sugars into lactic acid, and that acid changes everything. In the soil, this helps unlock nutrients that are already there. Things like phosphorus, calcium, and magnesium become more available to plants when used as a foliar. So instead of adding fertility, we're actually unlocking fertility. These microbes also outcompete harmful bacteria, which helps suppress disease both in the soil and on the plant. When we spray this on the leaves, it colonizes the surface and creates a protective layer. That helps prevent fungal issues and supports overall plant health. So this isn't just fertilizer, it's biology. Now on the other side, we've got Curds. This is basically fresh clabber, and it's packed with nutrients. You've got protein, fats, calcium, and still a lot of beneficial microbes. When we feed this to our chickens, our ducks, our dogs, it supports their gut health, helps with digestion, and improves how they use their feed. That usually shows up as stronger eggshells, better overall health, and more consistent laying. So from one input, milk, we got something that feeds the soil, feeds the plants, and feeds the animals. Nothing wasted. Everything feeds something. And this right here is what we call a closed loop farm system. All right, normally I wouldn't do this, but we get so much of it. I'm just gonna go around this compost pile and splash it all around it. In a smaller compost situation, when you weren't creating compost on this scale, you'd want to dilute it 1 to 500 or 1 to 1000 and spray it on real good, ideally in one of those little bottles that screw on and attach to a hose. You can just spray around this thing, get it nice and wet. But as long as I don't concentrate it heavily in one place, it will be totally fine. If I do concentrate it heavily in one place, it will just turn anaerobic, and as we turn this pile, it'll break apart anyways, but I don't think this is enough to cause any issues. I'm gonna actually do this other bucket on the more finished compost. These things are already packed with stuff, including mycelium from mushroom blocks. But with the addition of that, I mean, this soil already looks fantastic. We also use this stuff to spray on our chicken bedding, which helps control odor and helps break down the manure better. And I'm gonna use this today for spraying on our blackberries, our fruit trees, like I said, the chicken bedding, and some of the beds that we're not planting in quite yet, but plan on soon. Helps with loaminess and inoculates the soil. So this is gonna go in my sprayer, 4 gallons, 3 tablespoons. Normally I would go heavier if I was just spraying the chicken bedding, but since I'm gonna kind of hit everything, we're going a little light.